Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on November the 1st, the year 2019. Let's talk trading. What a day. We've got the weekly wrap up, we've got the monthly open, and it's NFP day. Okay, the NFP announcement has come and gone. I trust that you all traded it well. I trust that you all used stellar money and risk management last month and are going to do so again this month. And that on any one particular trade, you are not going to lose more than you're willing to lose. It's kind of funny. I was reading some email and it didn't have to do with trading, but they talked about first principles. And then I said, well, I'm interested if anybody's come up with some first principles of trading. And of course, there's a few things out there. If you Google first principles of trading, you'll see it. But I think there's some deficiencies there and maybe some myths. So I think what I'm going to do this month is I'm going to outline what I believe to be and can prove are the first principles of trading. But let's get into the details of this video first. Okay, weekly wrap up. No surprise here. All gaps have filled. Usually the surprise is when there's a few gaps that haven't filled. So for the week, you can see right now the dollar yen is 48 pips below the weekly open, and we're 31 pips off that weekly low and 109 off the weekly high. You can see we broke out of the high of the previous week and the low. The previous week was an inside bar. So now this week is an outside bar. Should be interesting as we move along till next week and the rest of the month and we see what happens. Okay. You can see here on the daily chart that we are 145 pips below the yearly open. We got close here, but we didn't quite make it. You can see that we're down 47 pips for the week once again. And for the month and day so far, we're up 18 pips above the open. Now, let's just bring the month chart up and you can see where we are here. And there's our yearly high, there's our yearly low. And you can see right here last month, October, how did that switch to CAD? Hit something accidentally. Last month, we broke out of the previous month's high. You can see this is almost a doji for the month. And we opened above the previous month's midpoint. And so far, looks like we're heading north. Now, once again, some of the traders out there have been asking me to give them a system or talk about systems that they can basically put a trade on and then go to work and then maybe check it at lunchtime, maybe check it when they get home, check it in the morning before they go to work. Well, if you're going to do something like that, then maybe you want to look at monthly and weekly bars and not even think about daily. But if you want to trade like that, you can say, okay, well, we're at the monthly open here. We've already broken through the buy zone to the north. So maybe you just want to take that trade. Maybe you want to fade the monthly pivot. And we'll have to look at where that monthly pivot is. And meaning you trade from the open towards that pivot point. That's one way of trading it. Or you place a trade at the pivot to see if price will reverse off that pivot. Those are a couple of ideas. Okay, so as you can see, the first day of the year, high low, first day of the week, high low. We broke out of that right there. Nice break to the south side. And somebody was asking, oh, let's see, what was the next question I got? Okay, wrapping up I'll go to that next question in a chart or two because I think I remember it now. You can see here yesterday we went down through that weekly open, so you can see how price moved through the week here. And nice rat reversal coming off of here. Okay, one question I had was, I had mentioned how one trader was finding success with this screen. People want to see the indicators once again. There's 3 instances of the inside bar plot. And they were asking, what was the stop loss? What was the take profit? You guys, you have to understand something. If you go back to that second screen every day, you have to determine your risk and stop loss. It has nothing to do with the method that you're trading, because risk is the main thing. So, for example, if you were going to take this weekly inside bar and you were going to go short here, and let's just say maybe you want to put this stop all the way to the end. Okay, I'm going to put my stop loss here. Well, then what you would do is you would calculate what your position size is so you don't risk more on this trade than normal. And so wherever you want to put that, and that's up to you. It's got nothing to do with the system. That's my opinion. Now, remember, boys and girls, fellow traders, these videos are for educational purposes only, and your results may differ from mine and other traders. So that being said, you have to remember that Forex trading, like all trading, is very, very, very risky, and you can lose all your money. So if you're looking for advice, seek it from an accredited financial professional. That way, when you lose your money, you know you took advice from an accredited financial professional rather than somebody you heard on a YouTube video or read about on some trading forum on the internet. Okay, that out of the way. So we've got our method, in this case, inside bar breaks. And you should establish your risk long before you even pick out your method. Okay, once you get that, then you determine either the position size you're going to trade or where to place the stop loss. If you just determine where to place the stop loss, then you determine your position size. So if your stop is hit, you don't lose more than what you're willing to lose. And that's it. As far as take profit, I don't know what the other trader's doing, but in this case, what happened? Price came down, opened here, broke through that low, reversed. So somewhere in this wick zone, or as soon as this candle turned green, take your profit. I mean, that's just the way it is. Sure, price could have come here and then, rocketed to the bottom. So in hindsight, to me, it's simple. You either take profit when it crosses back above this low or when it crosses back above the candle bottom if you're going short. Take the profit off the table, and you might get a chance at another trade. Okay, range, only 2 pairs over 100 on an NFP day. The dollar yen's only 36. Euro yen's only 50. What has happened to NFP day? I used to think NFP day you should only trade 12 days a year, but you see how things change, and that's why my philosophy in trading in life: do what works. Simple, what works. And if you have to pay attention, because it might work for a while, it might only work once, it might work for a long time, but sooner or later it might stop working. So pay attention. And so you can see here, these NFP day trades, they're not what they used to be. Holo, right here, we had the monthly H1 lowest open. It was right here. Price dipped down there 1, 2, 3 times afterwards, and now has retraced back up. And somebody asked to see what indicators I was using on this screen. And there you go. I hope that answers that question. And you can see we have the pivot here way above the daily open. So all the short trades were ignored. You take the buy zone trade, there was a profit to be had there and more profit here. Once again, I believe very simple and straightforward. Rat zone, only 36 pips of range, no real rat trade here based on because the zones overlap, but you can still do the reversals, but you just have to be careful. Don't look for much profit. Be quick to take the profit. Now, isn't this interesting? We just opened the month right here, and we've already hit the monthly pivot. Now, granted, it was only 9 pips away, but once again, that strong magnetic pull toward the pivot. So next week, we'll look and see, pick up the weekly pivot and see what happens. And okay, 2 missed pivots last month. And you can see we've got a missed pivot so far today, just barely, but it missed it. And I think somebody was asking, what are these horizontal lines here by the pivot? That just shows you the missed pivots. That's all that is, so you can see where price may or may not go. Oh, we wanted to look at the monthly pivot too. Let's widen the chart a bit here. Widen the chart. What did I do? There we go. So you can see pivot here. Now here's a missed pivot. Now look, we've got a missed pivot this year, but they have to go back 6 years. 6 years before there was another missed monthly pivot. I say let's target this. Just based on statistics, it rarely misses, right? Kind of almost a no-brainer. In the weekly, you can see here, it just missed it by a hair, just by a hair. But if you trade it that direction, there's profit to be had. You got to decide when or when not to take profit. I can't do that for you. Price action, basically one of the truisms or first principles is that price isn't going to stay between these 2 horizontal lines for long. It's just not. Wick zone, in and out, in and out. You can see it here. Yes, these right here would have resulted in losses, and that's why you have your stop loss. But if you took the opposite trade, you more than made up for the loss. So once again, you have to do this. You can't try to filter out these trades because you don't know. You just simply don't know. Now, what you can do is if you're thinking, you can be a rat and only trade one direction. So if you only traded long, you'd see you made money. If you only traded short, maybe you got caught in the rat trap, right? It happens sometimes, but that's why you have stop losses. Horizontal line trades, I know, beating a dead horse. Actually, no, milking a cow because it gives milk every day. Nothing much on the tick level. Einstein line, NFP announcement, and I think manufacturing announcement are over, so not much happening. Oh yeah, somebody was asking about this indicator. Why don't I have lines here showing where to buy and sell? No, I have the price boxes. Okay, right here and right here. This is peak of buying. This is where you go short, and this is peak of selling. This is where you go long, but you got to wait for this to get here to start selling, okay, or the other way for it to come up to start buying. That's how that works. And once again, for those of you just tuning in, if you hit F9, this is where this indicator is getting the information at the tick level. Okay, boys and girls, Let's see, for the week, we had 140 pip range there. So I'll see you guys next week.